Hola, los amigos a CECE. This is Nigel Pollock talking to you from Canada. For a number of years, I worked with TSCF in New Zealand, and 18 months ago, I moved to Canada to join the leadership team of InterVarsity in Canada. Through that time, I've had a long association with Ecuador through Ruth and Josue and their links with New Zealand, and it was great to be at the national conference a few years ago and to be in Guayaquil with many of you then. I continue to remember CECE and Ecuador in my office here in Canada. I have some art from Ecuador, which if I move to the side, you can see here and here. And I also have this, which was given to TSCF by Lenin when he was the General Secretary to commemorate partnership and friendship. And to remember my friend Lenin and to remember our partnership with CECE, I brought this with me to Canada. I should point out that TSCF in New Zealand also has one, so it's not that I've taken all their treasure away. I send you greetings in the name of our Lord Jesus from your friends in IFES around the world. Ruth has asked me to say a little bit about Breaking New Ground. Breaking New Ground was a pioneering initiative which IFES started in February of 2018 with the aim of starting 100 new groups around the world by May of 2020. So funds were raised from some generous donors in order for us to be able to provide financial grants to support pioneering initiatives around the world. These grants have varied from $500 to $7,000 and it has been remarkably encouraging to see how this grassroots initiative has been taken up with such enthusiasm around the world. We have sought to invest in initiatives which have prioritised creativity, multiplication, student initiative, sustainability, and which have invested in people as well as in projects and places. Some of the encouragements have been countries pioneering new cities as national movements have sought to reach out beyond their circle of influence. I know you have been doing some pioneering in new places in Ecuador, and that has been great to see. In other places, people have crossed national borders to pioneer. So in Patagonia, there have been people from both the movement in Chile and the movement in Argentina making inroads into that region. Equatorial Guinea, which is the only Spanish-speaking country in Africa, Ida, who is a young graduate from Spain, has been there doing some pioneering with local people, and it has been encouraging to see the early steps there of what could become a national movement in due time. Similarly, Philip and Sarah have gone to Greenland from the Danish movement to help pioneer work there. We've seen work happening in high schools and in universities around the world. At the moment, we are supporting pioneering in over 450 places around the world. This is tremendous, and it's really born out of a desire that more students would have a chance to hear the good news of Jesus, that more students would be able to think about how they relate the gospel to culture and apply the Bible to the whole of life, that more students would live joined up lives where they see the connection between their faith and what they study, their faith and what's going on in the world, and their faith and the work that they're going to do when they graduate. And where we see more students taking steps in leadership which will lay the foundations for a life of influence in society, in the church, in public life, in business, in the professions. So we're thrilled not just because we're seeing new groups starting, but because what these new groups represent in investing in a new wave of students who can reach students for Christ and can lay foundations of discipleship and influence which will last them through the changing seasons of life. One of the most encouraging stories recently has been from Focus in Kenya. You may remember in 2015, at round about this time of year, some gunmen went through the University of Garissa and asked people if they were Christians, and if they said they were shot. Among the 140 plus students who were killed were many involved in the IFES group on that campus. Just this year, Focus have decided to try to replant the work at Garissa University. This is not without its cost, and it takes courage. But again, it is encouraging to see people stepping out in faith with a desire that those who currently do not have as big an opportunity to hear about Jesus and begin to follow him have a new chance to do that. So I do want to pray for you in CECE that you will have courage to take risks and to step out in faith, and that your vision will be to see more people impacted with the good news of Jesus, in the hope and prayer that they will impact Ecuador and the world beyond. So very best wishes to you. Que el Señor te bendiga.